All right, let's speak now to the Department of Education spokesperson, Steve Mabona, and the department also expressing concern at the high rate of incomplete online applications for grade 1 and 8. Steve joins us live now. Steve, before we even get into the second part of our conversation about the online applications, let's start with the Pretoria Girls High story. Claims of bullying incidents not being addressed by the school management team, alleged repeated instances of racism with little to no action taken by the principal, among other issues. What's the latest regarding the investigations into this matter? Steve, I think you're on mute. We can't hear you. Go ahead.
Apologies. Good evening to you and all our viewers. Look, we've started with this investigation. So our officials, visited the school already. So the process has already commenced. So we're going to be monitoring this very closely because there's allegations against our employees at the school. So we need to continue with this process and make sure that we tick all the boxes. So the process has commenced. As soon as we have developments, we will be in a position to update. But the SGB, as it were, they then suspended the learners. The disciplinary process will then be facilitated on the 30th and the 31st of July. So we'll hear from them on what will be the outcome. But we are monitoring the situation very closely.
Given the fact that it's not the first time that the school finds itself in such a tricky position, let's talk about the department and how concerned it is about these latest claims.
Look, it's quite concerning. I mean, at this day and age where we will be concerning ourselves with, allegations of racism, and more so that we'll be going there at that school for the third time on, this kind of allegations. It's quite concerning. We'll then have to invoke more programs which will be assisting the school, because you'll remember in 2016, after the implicated officials, resigned and they were, left the system, we had new people that came in the school. We had those that would have remained, but they did not have allegations on them. So it means we must go back and make sure that the programs that we instilled at that time, we probably repeat and enhance, those programs, because it took a long time until we received such allegations. And the SGB plays a significant role here. Parents must assist us. We are developing a child, and parents need to play a significant role in this.
And I suppose then we'll get to hear more as probably maybe the investigation continues or it wraps up, in order to understand, just how these systemic issues continue then to plague the school. Because as you say, it's the third time. And if it takes this long to then report, it also speaks to deeper issues. So keen to hear what the investigation uncovers there. But let's shift gears slightly now and go to another issue of great concern, and this is the alarming rate of incomplete applications when it comes to grade 1 and grade 8, these online applications. What kind of information is missing?
Remember, we said we have 5 steps that parents need to go through. They need to register their profile, register the address, which is quite key. Also register a learner that they will be applying for. Then they need to apply for the schools. And the 5th one will be that one of uploading documents. So we have learned that over 146,000, parents have not completed. Some, they just created a profile. Some will just register a learner or register, their address only without registering a learner. So all the steps are affected. And the last step, which is that of uploading documents. If you have not uploaded documents, you can still successfully, take your documents to a school. So that will not be a challenge. But we've realized that some of them, they utilize internet cafes. So if you go there, they will not assist you, to the completion of the application. But you must insist on receiving an SMS, because after the application, you will receive an SMS that confirms that your application is successful.
What risks does this pose then if the information is not complete?
The risk is that we will not be in a position to place your child because you will not be in our system as a complete application. We will not be in a position to place. And it means we might have to consider you after we have started with the placement period, which commences on the 16th of September. So we might be talking to you around November, December, which is quite late at that time. Most of the schools will be full.
So there's also a concerning line in the statement that was released by the department, the falsification of documents by some parents. How are they falsifying documents, and which documents are they falsifying?
The document that is mostly falsified is a proof of address. People will apply with the address that is closer to the school, but when coming to them producing that, it will not be, the same as what we have in the system. And schools now, they will verify the document. And if they find that it's falsified, then that child will not be placed at that school. So we just want to caution parents not to do that.
All right, Steve, I hope they've heeded your call, and for them to complete the information and also be able to give an accurate version of events, but also waiting then to hear from you on the progress of that investigation at Pretoria Girls High. Thank you so much for keeping us up to speed this evening. That was Steve Mabona, the Gauteng Education Department spokesperson.